Alright, now here's some other things the person is saying that makes no sense for a real human being to have to deal with, especially if you had eye surgery when you were 12 years old, right? And this person is acting like I'm not a human being and he's not one as well. So, first, they say, considering a jury has your future in their hands, I think that's more important than traffic court. I know. So I'm going to say, what jury? I am not committing a crime. Just because you think. Alright, yeah. You are not even acting like an American. Or that you were even born here. Right. Now, on this particular channel, they're calling themselves C-Cut. So then they say, no one sabotaged you, you did that to yourself. One person can't do that to themselves, especially in a job you have to be trained in, right? See, you have to show me what to do if I never did it before, right? You know, exactly. And if you don't, you're doing what to me? Sabotaging me, right? What does the word mean, sabotage, right? Okay, if you watch Star Trek, where Kim Cattrall played a Vulcan, right, and was involved with a conspiracy herself, right, to sabotage the Klingon and what was it, Federation, whatever it's called, right? The joining of the two enemies during peace talks because of an explosion on one of the Kryptonian owned territories, right? That caused the major problem for them, right? And they needed to come to terms with Starfleet, right? Right? Whatever, right? And again, right? Sabotage is because, you know, they made machines to make shoes or something, right? And someone came in, right? And did something to the machine to sabotage it to where it didn't work right. Well, I'm a new electrician to a new ship I've never been on before. I don't even know the routines or anything, right? Right. So who was supposed to show me the routines without asking me I'm gay? If I'm gay, the shipmates, right? If they ask me if I'm gay, what are they doing? Like in Highlander, cruising for a piece of ass, cruising for a piece of ass. And if I say no 3 times and they don't train me, that's not sabotage. Because they went into the Navy for a different reason than I did. I was having problems kind of finding something I wanted to do in Georgia anyway, right? I'm not saying I wasn't doing nothing, but the normal things like restaurant jobs at $3.25 an hour. This is 1989 and 1988, right? Anyway, even Revco, which I worked for around 6 months or so, right? They paid me minimum wage, $3.25, right? About an hour. So yeah, I was living with my mom, and I got a little, greedy with some of my food, right? But that again is because I'm only making a small paycheck, right? I'm not making enough money to even live off myself, right? So I'm not really, me, and I'm using my survival skills to survive, right? I also was kept back in the 11th grade because of the car wreck and excess absences in afternoon classes, right? Not grade wise, right? But again, that's a history of Shane Edward Lee, right? So who do I think this is? One more sheep, man. Still probably King. Or Ben, right? Or both, right? See, when you're being sabotaged, the one sabotaging you wants people to think they're training you when they're not, right? But if they outnumber you, right, 2 to 1 at least, right, Ben and King, the two I'm supposed to work under anyway. You don't ask the new guy if he's gay to where he has to tell you no 3 times unless you're cruising for a piece of ass like an Highlander, right? It's not homophobia. He's asking me bluntly, will you suck my dick or I won't give you training? You understand what I mean? Right. That's not just harassment, it's sexual harassment, right? Or you gotta let me fuck you in the ass or I won't train you, right? That's exactly what he did, right? Now, only reason I have to bring it up is they have to tell the site department at Portsmouth how I was working on the ship. That's why it's sabotage. Sabotage means they control my career. The reason I got 2.7 evals is cause of King. Now I got 3.8 till I got to the ship. Why? I did alright in boot camp and A school. And for 3 months on the ship, I was in the kitchen anyway, like everybody else, or the galley. How long was that? Boot camp's about 2 months. A school's about 6 months. And again, galley duty was a month after I got to the ship, and for 3 months. That's what? A year. So my first evals were 3.8. I'm going along with the program, right? Because I didn't have to deal with Ben or King when I got to the ship. Who are the ones who are supposed to train me? Now, you know what sexual harassment, though, is. It's where someone won't train you in the job they're supposed to train you in, and you're under them and they have power over you to train you or not. That's called sabotage, when they don't train you right. And there's nothing you can do about it because you're stuck on that ship unless you go off on a medical, which is what happened with me anyway. I was supposed to go off of it in February of 94. Yet that extended to August of 95. That's a year and a half after I was supposed to be discharged anyway. Now, what's unusual about that is I was in med hold so long. They even gave me back my E3 because I was doing an important job for them. Like I told you anyway. Does that sound like, okay, it was the shipmates or me if I did a simple job that was important to them and I got my E3 back? It was them. You understand, right? Mm-hmm. And see, they're calling themselves C cup, like a woman, right? I'm not a C cup. Mm-hmm. In fact, again, if a man is a C cup, he's just got some weight on him, and that's not his fault. Mm-hmm. That's just naturally what happens when you gain weight. Mm-hmm. And you're not to pick on someone who has, you know, fat on his body, right? But they want to pick on me like, again, I'm not injured from a fall on base, I know. And again, right, who in my life does this sound like this could be? One of my shipmates, or who was supposed to train me but didn't, right? Now, I'm not saying, like I said, that King don't have a few fried neurons in his head. Man did touch 450 volts and dropped like a sack of potatoes, right? Right. So I know what's going on in his head, right? He's not all there anymore. Now, unlike him, I'm trying to give him an excuse he's not giving me. Now C Cup says, Shane Lee, your eyes should never been closed. Not even a second. You are the watchdog of all those men and women. That's why they booted you off the ship. There's no excuse for failing. And this is a long one, so I'm going to have to go to the channel itself, right? Now, now, are they looking though at my medical situation to listen to me when I'm talking to you about my right eye? No, no. Right, right. There is no excuse for falling asleep on watch. They took your rank and made you scrub toilets. You were lucky. You should have been discharged. No, they gave you a second chance. You are a disgrace to your ship and country. How hard is it to keep your eyes open? The fact you had in earplugs pretty much says it all. Why would you have in earplugs? I know, like I didn't tell him that. You need to hear everything around you. You excuses are uncalled for and frankly sickening. All right. So again, I'm going to tell them why. I know, because they are not on my ship. I know. They don't know what I went through. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, here's the first thing I tell them in response. First off, you don't know what it's like on my ship for me, right? Second off, you don't know why everyone on watch wears earplugs either for the 400 hertz generator, right? Or you do and are acting like you don't, right? Which again is on you, not me, right? One. I know. So, now I'm going to address the vision problem I had since I was a child. So, the first thing I do is ask them a rhetorical question. So, you don't blink then, right? You are, you work a normal day and are on the 12 to 4 watch. Right. So I'm up from at least 8 to 12 doing my job, and then I'm on the 12 to 4s. And then I get off at 4, and again, I'm back on 12 to 4. Then have to get up at 8 in the morning, and again, that's 16 hours, right? 12 hours on and 12 hours off. Right. So I'm working a 12-hour shift, right? To begin with. That's half a day. Okay. So I can't close my eyes if I'm working a 12-hour day and rest them and king bust in like I'm doing something wrong when I'm not. And accuse everyone of being asleep on watch. But since I'm the person who's responsible, they put me on the watch, right? He goes and says I'm sleeping on watch with no proof anyone was asleep, not even me, alright? Now, they're trying to do a training exercise for you guys, I know. But the problem is, they stuck me on the watch. What does that mean, right? Well, I ain't been doing anything with it, right? Since they trained me on it when I first got to the ship in 1991, right? Now, why 91, right? Because like I said, the first year I'm being in boot camp, A school, and then on the ship, and then galley duty for 3 months. That's what? A year. Now, I also went home on leave and Christmas. So that's what? Another month, right? So that's a year and 1 month, or a little bit around March when I start getting trained anyway. Right. For the watch. You got to get qualified for 2 things, the watch and red tags, right? So this happens 2 years later in 93. Now, if someone ain't working with you and they're sticking you on the watch and they're putting you on the jobs they don't want to do, what does that mean for you? You're not being trained to be an electrician, right? And that's exactly what that means, right? They are trying to get away from you or you away from them, too, right? You know what I mean? They don't want to be around you for some reason. Like you're doing something wrong. Well, you don't even know what the hell you're doing or how to do it right or wrong either. Now, A school, you don't work on anything, right? You don't know what is even going to be on the ship, right? Until you get there. Now, I'm not saying all ships ain't similar either, right? That you wouldn't work on similar equipment on each and every ship either. But what I am saying is you haven't yet worked on it, right? Well, that requires what? Training, right? to actually know what you're working on. Right. But if you just show me a bunch of books on the shelf, what am I supposed to do? Read the whole book? All the books? And then guess which piece of equipment the work card is talking about as well. You know what I mean? Right. Like I even know that. Because see, the work card is telling you how to do the job. The book is supposed to be associated with it because the piece of equipment you're working on must be in the book, I guess, right? I ain't even read the book, so I don't know, right? But I'm not told to do so either. I don't know to do so either because that's a communication process Ben and King didn't do with me, right? So here I'm on my ship trying to do the job, but I don't know what I'm doing. I know how to sign the red tags. I know I'm supposed to hang them. But they're just giving me the work card. I don't know what else to do. So I go down to the workspace, like Chief, the senior chief, master chief, or chief saw me doing, right? To try to at least go to the location on the work card and inspect the general area and make sure there's nothing out of place. So even if that's all I can do about it. See, at least I'm going to my workspace, right? And then, right, I go back trying to do the job, right? That's trying because I'm not being trained. I don't know exactly what to do, but I'm at least aware of the location on the ship I'm supposed to be in, and I'm there. You know what I mean, right? I'm at least supposed to go to that area of the ship, which is where the work card tells me to go. I'm at least doing those things, right, to try to do the job. But when I get there, I just see a bunch of equipment. I don't even know what I'm working on. Okay? Because I just have the work card. I don't have a picture or anything. Right? Don't have a drawing. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm even supposed to recognize to work on. Right? But that's also because I've never been on the ship before and I don't know the equipment on the ship. Right? They didn't teach you all that in any school either. Right, that's all my fault. This motherfucker wants to insinuate, right? Now, here's another example, okay? My stepdad went to school for the machines in the sugar refinery. That's why he knew how to work on it. And again, was able to do his job. And again, because he bumped his head on the machines a few times, he developed some kind of neck condition and went on disability himself, right? But he worked his whole life. Okay. Now, arthritis is a condition, right? You develop one of two ways, or no? Now, his job would require him to, lower and raise his head a lot. Right. And again, right, I had the windshield of the car to at least crash on my head and knock me out. If little Roddy wasn't in the car too. Otherwise, both of us, when the windshield collapsed, would have got cut. The whole point. See, if two people are in the front seat, one in the driver's side, one in the passenger side, and one gets cut up a little, and one don't at all, one of them couldn't have been in the vehicle when it wrecked. That's just standard deduction there. Anyone can figure that out. I know. But my mom and stepdad aren't drawing that conclusion for some reason. There's nothing I can do about it because I got amnesia of the whole thing, so I can't say what happened, right? I'm not accusing them, right, of being part of the conspiracy there, but that looks like a conspiracy at least hatched by little Roddy, at least when we got to Vivian's, his girlfriend's house at the time, or one friend's house at the time, because she was in the 30s. Yeah. Technically, she's more of a pedophile than I am, even if I would have been with her daughter. I told you that too. I'm not sure about that either, but again, right? If someone made it an issue, it would probably be her mom, right? Or logically there too. I know. Now, see, the reason though, I can't do anything more right now, is cause, like I told you again, I don't know any of the equipment on the ship, except for the logic circuit. I know an outlet, right? I know heating and air motor, right? For a ship, right? Because of course we got air conditioning on the ship too, right? And again, I know a light system, right? Minor electrical things, but I don't really know more than that, right? Now, King tried to work with me on, like I told you, hooking up a fuse to the fuse box, right? Or breaker, right? Now, a breaker is normally in a home, right? A fuse box is on a ship or something like that, or on older equipment anyway. Now, what a breaker is, a breaker is a switch, right? And what it does is it turns the power on and off in your breaker box in your house, right? Again, right? But then on a ship, you have a fuse box. Now, once you put the wire from the source, right, of your electrical equipment, if you want to hang a light or whatever, right, you run a cable to the fuse box and you put the fuse holder in, right, at a certain amperage, right, and it can be 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, right, something like that. This is some of the work I remember kind of doing with King one time. Now, the problem is, King is treating me like I know what I'm doing when I don't. And I'm kind of clumsy. You understand what I mean? I don't know exactly what he's doing, but he's busy doing it. And I'm just kind of like with Myron in the truck and them having the book and I not knowing what to do, right? So I'm just kind of standing around trying to figure out what to do because I don't know, right? I can't omnisciently or osmatically know what you're doing when I don't, Myron and David, too, right? Now, why am I bringing that up? Because, again, they're rebuilding the motor to the truck. Well, they got a book for it, but again, right, they're not acting like, they don't have the book and are following the book and aren't showing me the book either. And like I'm supposed to know what to do, right? When I don't. See, how do you learn in school? As well, your teacher gives you a book, right? And you read that book, and the book has pictures and writing, right? And you're able to work and learn from that book. Now, if you just give me a work card with no pictures and I never even seen the equipment before, what can I do about that? Nothing. In fact, all I can do, like I told you, is go to the area and make sure, look around a little. I don't see any frayed wires or none of the equipment looks like it's too old to not be replaced or anything, right? You know what I mean? Right. And all I can do then is if I do find something, let them know, right? Too, and I would do that. Mm-hmm. 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 So here's my third response, okay? I say, a woman at Mets even caught my right eye was odd, because I at first didn't even mention the eye surgery I had at 12 years old. If you have a vision problem but aren't colorblind, you can still be an electrician, right? Now, an electrician has to deal with colors, right? It can be green, red, or black. It can also be blue, right? Depends, right? Well, you know what that generally means. Green means, okay, it's either an extra wire or for some other purpose with the equipment. A red wire is the hot wire, right. And the black wire is the ground wire. This is basic electricity I learned in A school and ain't forgot either. Right. But you can have up to 3 wires, And the red one is the hot, and the green one might be for something extra, like say you got the fan like a wired up anyway, and one of it goes to the fan and one of it goes to the lights, right? Right. You got 3 wires there, right? So the fan in my room is still up, no problems with it. It ain't burned up or anything. When did I put that up? In 2 years ago. And I'm still here. Nothing bad happened. I mean, I can go and do a video of it for you, but like I said, right, it's still working fine, right? Just like when I went to work at the Masters Inn, which is now a different hotel chain, right? Again, I wired a fan for them, and the motel's still there too. It burned down, nothing bad happened, right? Even if the guy checked up on me to make sure I did the job right, I must have did the job right. That's what I mean too, right? So even with just my basic understanding of electricity, I can still do minor, right? You know, like I can put in an outlet maybe. I can put in a light. I can put in... I can even deal with a fluorescent light, right? Because they have a ballast, you know, to keep the fluorescing, right? And it's a little silver thing, kind of like a tube, with a little button in the top that you can also reset. And I remember all that from the ship. But what I don't know is how to work on any other equipment, because that's all they, train me in to kind of work with. And that's just basic electrical equipment, though. You would even find in your house. But guess what? That's not all the electrical equipment on the ship. You know what I mean? Right? Well, that's a job. That's a job. See, all right, like one of the areas has to do with sanitation, right? Right. Well, you're going to have different equipment in that area. And again, if you don't know what it looks like with the logic circuit of an elevator, like I said, right, you're coming to the area, right? You don't know what it looks like because you only got the work card. And Lieutenant Guzman knows what they're doing and makes them do the job because they're not training me. And that's on who? Them. I'm the new kid in town. I'm the new guy, right? I don't know nothing about the ship or the equipment on the ship. All I know is basic electricity you learn around the house, but not shipboard electricity. I'm so novice in that, which means I'm not trained in it to do anything with it. Again, I have no more experience than you would, again, whether you went into the Navy or not. You know what I mean? But that's my fault. Because it's my job to train myself and know what to do on a ship I've never been on and know which goes with what goes with what. That don't make your job 5 times or even 7 times harder if you don't know what you're doing, right? And of course, when they put you cleaning the toilets, you can do that. And there again, you're doing that from 8 to lunch. That's about 3 hours or so, right? You go to lunch, okay? Then you're on the 12 to 4. Then again, you get off, you go get something to eat, and you have to rest until 12. That's what? 5 to 12. That's how many hours? 7. All right, then you do the 12 to 4. And it takes you about, 20, 30 minutes to eat, and I mainly just ate lunch and dinner, right? And I was thinner then, right? So I got off the ship, right? And I didn't meet Daphne until I got off in October, met her in February. And I'm confused about Sheena, too. I don't know what's going on with her. Exactly. Now, Sheena led to Daphne, who led to Maribel. And these are not the only women I'm with either, right? They're just the ones acting the weirdest about us having sex, right? They're also kind of religious. Mary Bell's a Catholic. I don't know what Daphne was, but she grew up in Arkansas, so she knows a little bit about religion. And again, she's saying she's Pentecostal like me. So I'm, again, trying to make a connection with her, not break up with her. That's why I would show her the Bible studies for Pastor Davis's Bible study course, right? And not do anything out the ordinary with my new girlfriend. I damn sure wouldn't write her type letters because, again, I didn't have a typewriter on the ship. But someone did, the yeoman who's supposed to type up Lieutenant Gooseman's reports, right? And like I said, I only remember Ben and King because they're the ones I'm supposed to train and I'm supposed to work under, right? But anyway, it's time to go to my new class. My, now, I told you before my grade was 79 and 66. But now I've got a new grade, right? It went up. Because I was having problems with the interactives, right? Guess what my new grade is now? An 85. Now, it's not the final grade for the course. It's called the final progress report, right? Okay, right. Though they gave me 2 of them, so it's not the final progress report either. Just playing. But like I said, of all the people around me, including Christian Fellowship Church, right, who do you think would really have a problem with this? Unless, again, me and Pastor Thomas finally had it all out and they tried to kill me themselves, right? I don't know, right? That's allegedly now. I can't prove it because of the amnesia at either or. The car wreck or the fault. But you would start thinking, okay, like Rick Springfield says, something going on around here, around here. To quote his lyric from the song to make my point as well. Which is what teachers often do. So now I'm going to go to a dating site real quick. Now I signed up with a new one, and I can show you how that one's going in the few if I can find some decently dressed women. Now again, if you see a nudity, it's on the site, and I don't know how to edit still yet. So you might see a boob or two, or maybe a vagina. Right? It's a body part. I don't know. Now, who do you think, like I said, is ashamed of their body? A sinner, or someone who's repenting of being a sinner and trying to go back to Eden before the fall? Right? What you're doing, okay, and this is the irony of it. You know what irony is, right? Right. Okay, you're not trying to go back to being naked and not ashamed as we were in Eden either, are you? Like that ain't a goal. That ain't a goal. Because see, you only have shame when you do something wrong, right? If you're not doing something wrong, you also don't generally have shame, right? True. Now, this person's profile, they say they are ABM. I don't know what that means, right? But anyway, she's an other Christian. She drinks occasionally. She's a Pisces. Um, Caucasian, white, rather not say, right? So he's got either bluish, dark bluish eyes, maybe brown. It's hard to say, really tell with the photo, right? But again, she's 36, right? And from Guyton, right? All I know about her, right? And I'm on mate one anyway. Now, like I told anyone contacting me, just because I can't find a girlfriend don't mean I ain't trying, right? Don't mean you can call me names, right? And don't mean, right, I'm even worried about you if you do, right? But if you need me to explain something to you, I will. Why it became an issue or a problem anyway. Mm-hmm. So on Quora, they asked which famous actor got away with a large crime largely due to their fame. During the height of their fame, Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Grey were holidaying in Northern Ireland where he was driving. I don't think it's just Matthew. You know who I mean. So we do you mean. Right, right. Okay, right. He veered into the wrong lane and collided head on with another car, killing the other driver and passenger. Before he began driving, Broderick had asked for directions from a police officer, but had decided to go his own way. He was charged with causing death by dangerous driving and faced up to 5 years in jail. He was later convicted for careless driving and fined $175 for the accident, a fine the family of the victims reportedly called a travesty of justice at the time. Right? Wow. Not as bad as killing your wife and her new boyfriend, but yeah. Right. One of you had more control over it to not do, right? Than the other, right? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So that is vehicular manslaughter. But again, you're letting an American drive who's used to driving on the right side of the road, right? Which is again a normal situation. An American in Ireland might try to drive on the right side of the road, right? Versus the left, right? So who is really at fault there? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But now, do I know Matthew personally, or am I not upset for the family who lost their loved ones? None to both. None to both. But do I think that Matthew regrets doing it? Yeah, I know. Do I think he feels very upset with himself that it happened? Yes. But life goes on too, right? And that's to the family as well. Don't think he intentionally did that either. He's an American who was driving on the side of the road he's used to driving on and accidentally wrecked, right? That's why it's called an accident anyway. Now, I'm sure God would want to get involved with that and raise the people from the dead. But why can't it do that? According to the Bible, faith of the person. And the people involved there too, right? Why? Well, if the people believing Jesus could heal were healed, right? But the people not believing Jesus weren't healed, that's the only situation you can find yourself in yourself, right? Right. The person has to declare, like I could have did at the record fall, that whatever happens in the record of fall, Jesus will save me. Right? But there again, it would have to also be to another person involved with it. Right? If they had to do that. But then you're trying to solve your own strange murder case, right? So see, if someone intentionally wrecks you in the car, are they not trying to kill you? Right. Right. Probably so, probably so. But like any man who's confronted with a situation like that, you can either rely on yourself, right, or God. Which do you think I did if I'm still here? Sir, I must have called on Jesus before they attacked me and put me in the car and wrecked me in the car. Now, whoever the they was, even if it was Roddy and his girlfriend, right, at the time. Because if I had sex with the daughter or not, again, right, she's in her mom's home. And again, right, anything else would, like if I called my mom or something, that there you start kind of getting the strange, crazy thinking, like my mom wouldn't make me date or something. Right? That don't make sense. I know. She didn't have a problem with me being with Lisa, as far as I know, either. Which is before I met Vivian's daughter, right? Or, trying to hook up with girls at the river, right? But mainly we just made out, I don't recall having sex at the river. And though again, if you have amnesia, you can't say you did, though. You can't say you didn't. You can't say you didn't. But again, I still can't say. And you can't act on, I'm not sure, if something happened, right? Because, see, again, you're not the only person on the planet, right? And you have to deal with other people. And just like you, they don't know what you know about yourself. They don't know anything more than you or less than you unless you personally meet first, right? Right. Now, that's what I learned from watching stalker movies, right? Right. Now, if Mary Bell or Daphne or Sheena hadn't had sex with me, would I have pursued them at all? No. But why did I pursue them? Because I was trying to find a girlfriend and a woman to marry me legally. Did we have sex first? Yes. But see, they show you what Paul said in the New Testament, but not what Moses said about premarital sex in the Old. But you might say, well, if you have to pay her father a dowry or 50 shekels, right, if he refuses to let you marry her, right, isn't that prostitution? Well, only if the father refuses to let him marry her, I guess, right? But then the father, okay, is refusing the daughter's choice in the husband because she made the choice on her own. Without him. And then who's playing bad dad? The bad dad. It's like rude. Really. The girl's in love with this boy, but dad, because he's old fashioned, won't let him marry her. Now that wasn't the problem with Sheena. Now Daphne's dad is in Arkansas with her daughter, right? And again, right, her baby daddy he's in a new relationship, right? And they had her for 4 days before me and Daphne, or I even met her, or you even met her. See, that's called, again, I can say, okay, if you're accusing me of being with a child, right, namely my stepdaughter, well, here's how that works, right? If I can say she was with her dad, and they could have coached her, you can't say that's not possible if you're accusing me too. Right. So I can say, well, if me and my ex-wife were both asleep where we're supposed to be, and the child even comes there to me at all, you can't prove that the dad didn't coach her to. Right. That's called reasonable doubt. Why is it reasonable doubt? Right. Because I'm not the only one around the child who could have coached her to come and wake up a sleeping 24-year-old man. And would have a problem with the girl even being around him at the time. And if my ex-wife knew I was on the couch, unless she's trying to entrap me herself, why would that even happen? So that's the problem there. If you're accusing me of being with a 4-year-old, when the sleeping situation doesn't suggest that could even happen. Right. Mm-hmm. Because I'm on the couch, right? And everybody knows if you're having a fight with your wife, right? You take the what? Couch. That's everybody knows everybody. Now, the new site is called Tempting Things, right? Mm-hmm. 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 And I'm probably getting a lot of hits, but I can't really respond, right? Okay, just checking some of the emails real quick. Mm-hmm. Like children often do. Here it is. Mm-hmm. So now, it's up to an 87 and an 80 for the submission rate, right? Now, I still got a 50% and it's still an F on the interactives, right? But it went up, right? The discussion is 96, the assignment's 93, and the assessment's 80%, right? Those are what? Good grades, good grades. Now, why is this, King again? Because you got training. They're showing me how to be a PT tech with books and pictures. Right? You can't go wrong with that. Monkey see, monkey do. Plus, I'm a positive. I'm a monkey. Reese's monkey gene. Man. And guess what? If you're RH positive, you have in your blood is Reese's monkey gene. So you are a monkey's uncle. Just checking. Again. Now, one of the jokes we would tell amongst ourselves towards African Americans, we would call them what? Porch monkeys. That's a joke. We're not serious, right? We don't mean it to offend you. We're just joking around, right? But guess what? We're porch monkeys too. If you're RH positive. But if you're RH negative and don't have the gene, well, like I told you about the hermaphrodite gene, right? The gene was introduced through sex with a creature that had what? RH positive blood. Right. It also probably affected our blood production, especially the red blood cells. Now, strange enough, and here's the little thing you gotta understand: iron and water, does that usually mix? No. But where did the iron come from? The creature we had sex with and needed? You figure it out. Because all I can do is try to tell you, and if you don't want to listen, it don't matter what I say. And yes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But the question isn't why the horse ain't drinking. The question is, why aren't you drinking the water? So that the horse won't think there's nothing wrong with the water to drink it itself. At least, if you're at a trough and you want the horse to drink, put the water, bring it to your mouth, act like there's nothing wrong with the water, and the horse might drink too, huh? See, a lot of people want to tell you a half-assed story like it's the end of the story, right? Well, no. That's something you're not looking at but one way. You're not looking at, okay, the horse is at the trough and it's not drinking. Well, there's a question involved with that situation, right? What is making the horse, if it's hot, like you are, not drink water? Because the horse is observing you, also not drinking the water. And if you don't drink the water, will the horse? No. Why not? You're both hot. You're both tired. You're both blinking your eyes from the dust in the air. But if you don't drink the water, neither will the horse. It's following whose example? The human's example. Because again, you broke it. You're riding it. The white horse. Again, no. Now I'm on SP dating, but this is more like a bot site that shows you a bunch of women, and it says the same thing, right? But I'm looking at the pretty women. That's it. That's it. I just like looking at the pictures. And that's not a sin. That's not a sin. Even if they're naked pictures, right? Why? Because I'm not coveting the women, nor am I trying to have real sex with them. I'm just looking for a relationship with one, right? And that's up to two people, right? Now, let me tell you something, though. If you're doing your girlfriend so fucked up, or your wife, or your lover, or your fiance, whatever she is, that she would even consider being with me, you're the one fucking up. No. Though I don't say that even would happen, right? Either. Because guess what? That shouldn't happen normally either. And it's just supposed to be hypothetical, and usually women are more faithful to men anyway, which is a better quality of you ladies, right? You have to carry either the asshole's baby or mine if you get pregnant. And that's what I'm on about Maribel, Daphne, and Gina. I know. One of them I know got pregnant. The other two were acting weird about it. Like, one like she didn't. And one called me 3 years later, right? Telling me the birth weight that traces back to when we were together, right? Which is all I'm saying about it, right? Not because I'm acting odd, but because she is. And acting like her behavior ain't odd, right? I can't do nothing about that either. I know. So this is truehotties.com, right? And they all want you to pay $30 or something to even talk to anybody. I can't do all that, right? You can send the mail for how much? 50 cents. About 52, 54 cents, right? But we're not doing that anymore. Computers are taking over, right? Yeah. Here's Monica showing me her vagina. Nice vagina. But I'm not sure Monica even took the picture because she's spread eagle lying on the bed asleep. Bad boyfriend. Bad boyfriend. Taking a picture of his sleeping girlfriend, right? And posting it on True Hotties. Why would he do that? Sabotage. He's sabotaging his own relationship with her because he wants something better. No. And I know it's not real. I know it's not real. Why? Because I learned to discern fact from fiction the best I can. Now, that don't mean certain things, right? If I don't know what to do about it, you can't trick me, right? But I'll go kicking and screaming all the way home. I mean, I'm not trying to do it. Now, if you're a straight man, though, you don't mind looking at a naked woman or two. You just behave otherwise. Now, I'm sure Jesus, whatever was in Israel, saw whatever was in Israel, but that's if he stayed only in Israel. Now, all we know is from 12 to 29, right? We don't know what the hell he even did. That ain't a long time in somebody's life to not know what the hell they even did, right? So they were baptized with John suddenly, right? In the story, right? And like I said, do you not understand what a short story about someone's life even is, right? Like John said at the end of his gospel, Jesus did other things, stupid, but these are written down that you just might believe he's the Son of God, right? But wouldn't you like to know the other things he did too? Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, where can you find out some ideas about that? Maybe the old. Maybe the old. Now, if you're in a society, though, and it goes as far as India, right? Too, right? Because of who? Alexander. Right, right. The Great, which is around the time of who? Hosea. Not Daniel. Not Daniel. Daniel was before that. Why Hosea, though? He was told to marry a woman of sin. Now, why can he do it, but not a priest? Right? A priest has to marry a what? Virgin, right? Now, I'm a prophet, so I can marry what? Any woman, right? I'm not restricted in that particular genre. Why not? Why not? Because a prophet, okay, in his ministry, is kind of similar to a king, right? If I'm trying to find me a wife and you're playing wife to me, you can. Why? Because I'm single, right? I'm just trying to date you, hopefully, as you're trying to date me, hopefully, right? This is a female calling herself Gator 6666, right? But again, someone else is taking the photo, so this is Gator, her boyfriend. Asshole he is. Asshole he is. Posting naked photos of his girlfriend because they broke up. You know what he's doing. You know what he's doing. This one, too, is a guy putting his girlfriend in bondage, right? With what looks to be chains, right? Took a picture of her and posted it on Online Crush. He's a bad guy. But, and all I can do is kind of laugh at the crazy women. Because they're dumb enough. And I don't mean this to insult you. I know you're trying to fall in love like me. But we all have the same problem. Gay or straight. Gay or straight. And they're probably the angels following Satan in the head. And the bottomless pit. You figure that one out for yourself, religious people. Which body part would be the bottomless pit? And which body part has a bottom? Right. But Satan has cast himself into the bottomless pit, right? Now that's not talking about, again, the act itself either. That is a sin so evil God won't forgive you of it, right? Don't think I'm saying that either. It's just sex. It's just sex. But the problem is, though, I know, is there love involved or rape? Is there something you're doing right or something you're doing wrong, right? Because, see, anything you do can be done a right way or a wrong way. One of them involves more of a commitment, and one of them is just whoever you want to be with. Right. with no concern for the other person. Like with STDs and things like that. If you don't care, who will? No, right. Which is what the person keeps telling me on YouTube. Oh, nobody cares. Right. You don't seem to either. You're joining them. You're joining the people who don't care, right? Now, this woman on PassionDesire.com wants me to go to another site and find her there. And see, there's a reason I can't do that, right? Right. She can't send me a link to her own page, right? And she calls herself Magic Mayo. Yet guess who looks like it really took the picture? Her boyfriend. Her boyfriend. You gotta watch out for that, guys, if you're on these dating sites, and make sure it's a selfie. But there again, the boyfriend can't post the selfie of his girlfriend either, can he? Be careful when you're dating. If the girl is in the picture, right, it might be her boyfriend. No, not her, not her. And of course, I'm just warning you about that. Now, if he's a real dick, he's going to get pissed off with you either way. Because, see, you're not supposed to be even looking at his girlfriend. When he's the one posting the picture ever in the first place, right? Not you. You just look for a girlfriend, right? Now, it's not that you want his sloppy seconds or something like that either, but after a while, your sperm dies. Especially if you're an asshole falling asleep. So do mine, but timing is everything at your local Ford dealers. You know what I mean, right? Now, one more time about exes, right? Okay. Now, I know maybe Sheena had to do with the shipmates. I know Daphne and me lived together and we made it till at least 4 months, so that's over, right? And how could I tell? She's right there. Unlike Sheena, I can't even talk to Sheena, right? I don't even know what's going on, right? So, until I met Daphne, I wrote Sheena, right? But I also was trying to move on from her too and dated other women, right? In the meantime, too, right? So I'm not obsessed with her, Daphne, or Mary Bell. But I'm trying to show concern about what Mary Bell told me about what happened with me and Daphne. And again, this asshole accusing me of shit that are criminal shit, right? They can't prove, right? I ain't worried about it. See, they don't want me to forgive them anyway, but I am. I am. Hate that too. Seems to be working too, don't it? Alright. Agita is nervousness or agitation, anxiety, indigestion, or stomach discomfort. Agita. A feeling of agita overcame me as the storm cloud rolled in. I don't know whether it was anxiety or something I ate, but I felt a great deal of agita in the pit of my stomach. Now, I'm not trying, though, like I said, to badmouth anyone, right? But I mean something what I'm saying, but I'm not as serious about it all as they are. Right. So, it's about time to get something to eat. Have a good day.